Okay, this thing working. Hold up. Thereabout should do. Well, we're here, guys. This is the last Matt Matters episode. And although that wasn't a part of my original plan, I think it's come out pretty well. I got more topics than the original thought films, and actually more interesting ones when you really think about it. Also, can we improve the setup, guys? There aren't even any cushions on my chair. You know, I just feel like having a bit of a change this time, and you're about to see what I mean. Ooh, there we go, much better. You guys got anything to say? No, that's quite true, Goosey. Save it for the end of the video, though. What about you, Jums? Roll intro. Hello everyone and welcome back to Cosmo's Universe. My name is Matt. Today we are back for another episode of Matt Matters. Now, this is the last episode and you'll have already seen the title and the thumbnail. I've had a pretty interesting idea for this one. I did a presentation in English a while ago. We had to choose like a topic basically to do one of those talk talks, kind of like show and tell. And I thought, okay, well, doing this whole YouTube thing, it's unique to me, it's a bit of a hobby, it's fun, it's interesting, so there was a lot I could say about it. Disclaimer, I don't want anyone to accept this as kind of a video of teaching you how to do YouTube. No one can teach you it. You have to learn yourself because there are loads of different ways of getting success in YouTube. Success in YouTube is something I don't have. This is all of my personal tips if you wanted to start a channel, but also just really an explanation of what I do and why I do it. So let's get started. I actually did an entire video covering this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you can go check out this video. In fact, the eyes usually go up here, don't they? I'll put something up, and I'll put it all in the description or the end screen anyway, with like the playlist, so you guys can check out that video if you haven't seen it already. So, let's say hypothetically you want to start a YouTube channel. That's what this video is kind of about. So, you need an idea. So first of all, you need a Google Plus account. It's kind of a given, you know, it gives you access to Drive, Gmail stuff. If you don't have that, just get one, you know, sign in. Then you need an idea for the channel. You want to know what type of content you want to be making, what you want to call yourself as the name of your channel. For some people it really just works to have their name, but it's very rare. Like Matthew Santoro is really the only example I can think of. And Santoro isn't really that common a name anyway, so people recommend usually names that are smaller, definitely something more memorable, something that's only a couple of syllables long. The thing about my channel name is that I've never really felt satisfied with it. Dr. Cosmo was okay, but then it's like, that's not me, that's my avatar, and it's like, I was sort of using it as like a code name or like a username, but I thought, I want to change it to something broader, and actually my brother is the guy who came up with Cosmo's Universe, and the idea of course was that, you know, this page, this channel is the universe in which Cosmo resides, and it's all the different stuff that goes on here, you know, the animations, the gameplays, these videos that you're watching right now. I wouldn't use my name as an example. Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, 8-Bit Ryan, they're all kind of great names which are sort of like, you know, bring in your own name perhaps, or rather than go totally with like a phrase or like an idea that isn't related to you, but try and have some meaning behind it because, you know, it makes it more interesting and more memorable. Honestly, this is one of the hardest stages, but don't worry, it gets easier depending on what you're into. So the next part is recording. It depends on the kind of videos you want to do. Some videos, vlogs, infotainment like this, or like maybe unboxings, it's only going to require a camera like this. Now honestly, when you're first starting out, you want to build it up, so you could just literally use your phone. It does have a pretty good camera. Most smartphones have like a 720p HD camera. The microphone isn't as good, but you can still make out what the person's saying, so I guess it isn't too bad. Alternatively, there's also your laptop webcam. I've got mine down here right now because this is where my notes are. This is just personal experience, but I've got Cyberlink. It's not great. The highest quality you get is 720p, and half the time it's in standard. If you watch my old vlogs, you can tell it took me to sort that, and the audio quality is also crap. If you can, you want to buy something a bit better. This camera I'm using is a Canon Legria HFR706. I'm not saying that any brand's better than others, I don't really know. Canon's pretty good. I know that Sony do cameras as well. If you can, you also want to get a tripod. I've got a tripod that belonged to my mum. It helps keep the camera steady, but if you can find another way of putting it up just on top of books or something, that's a good like kind of makeshift way in the early days. You remember when I just put my laptop on my bed because like I didn't have a desk? God, it was so awkward. I was like talking to you on my bed. Cameras and everything aside, you also might want a good microphone, and some cameras just have better microphones than others. The microphone you're hearing now is just of this camera. There was another webcam I had, which would clip onto my computer back in the day, when I stopped using the one that was in the computer, which had a really good microphone, but it was a bit kind of raw and I had to edit it. This one I don't really need to. And then of course, if you're doing something like a gaming video or a reaction video or like a tutorial, then you're going to need a screen recording software of some kind. You don't hold your camera up to the screen. I've seen that too many times in the younger people's channels, and oh my god, I probably thought the same thing once. The best one to download is probably OBS. It's free, it's versatile, you can record games with it, or you can just record full screen. Personally, I use Bandicam, and although I did have to pay £39 for the full version, I find it easier to use. It's good because it's easy to record and like take screenshots as well for thumbnails. Okay, so some videos aren't going to require a script of any kind. Gaming's reactions, it's all spontaneous. But some videos, like this one, are going to need to be scripted. And I've got my script, again, like I said, it's right here. I've got a list of notes. Sometimes I type out what I'm going to say, word for word, and usually I paraphrase it rather than actually go and learn it or like say it word for word, because that just takes way too long. But the point is that I'm getting the point across, and it's just important that you structure what you're doing so you don't, have to spend time looking through it. The first video you're going to upload, by the way, should probably be some kind of channel trailer. Something just explaining who you are and what you're about. So this is a good opportunity to kind of script things and organize. The first I'm going to tell them my name, content I want to create, and then how I'm going to go about it, something like that. You also want to have some kind of catchphrase or call to action. For example, YouTubers have certain intros. You'll have noticed with mine, I almost always start my video with, "Hello everyone, welcome back to Cosmo's Universe, my name is Matt. Today," the hand actions aren't necessary, by the way, that's just me. I've just developed that over time for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I guess I'm trying to be engaging. You want to be very involved and taking an interest, because if you don't take an interest in, your audience, the audience won't take an interest in you. Also, there's the cliches of, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of all new videos. You want to do that kind of stuff. Don't do it over the top. Don't be a loser who spends all their time trying to get the highest ratings. The best YouTubers will all tell you the reason they do YouTube, it's not for money, it's not for views, it's for passion. It's because it's what they want to do. It's something they really at heart do for fun. But that said, doing it as a job, career, by all means go for it, you got to get money from somewhere. Usually it's best to tell someone to hit the like button sometime early in the video so they're already watching, but then again at the end, as well as all the subscribe stuff, because you want to tell them before they go, because sometimes people switch off then, so you want to do all your content first, you know what I'm saying. Again, just look at how I structure my videos. I'm sure there's many other YouTubers you follow who do that better than I do anyways. So you need to edit your video. You've got your video file, but you need to put it into something. And now the thing is, most computers, depending on who they're made by, will come with either Windows Movie Maker, which I use, or iMovie. If you can, you want to get something a bit more advanced than those, like Adobe Pro or Sony Vegas Pro, which is what I use. Most of them will have free trials, but you'll have to pay for them to get, the real deal. That's just the truth, guys. Some of them are a bit expensive, but some of them are reasonable. And actually, if you want to find good, cheap, easier ways of getting around all of the stuff that I'm discussing in this video, I'm going to link something in the description, which I'll come back to at the end of the video. But the way you edit your video, there's really two parts to it. So what you want to do for the rough cut is go through your video and just cut out all the parts you don't want. So get rid of the bits where you've, coughed or gone off script, or just paused for whatever reason. You can join them together so it jump cuts. Unless you want to transition. Then the second part is the clean cut, and the way this works is that after you've done the rough cut, you've got all the pieces you want, this is where you can add a bit of a spin. So say if you're using a video where you've got a face cam and then something on the screen, do you want to be like Corey X Kenshin or 8-Bit Ryan with loads of fancy edits? You want the face cam to be zooming in and out? Do you want to have some colours and effects? And basically you have to really learn for yourself, but you can find tutorials on how to do all kinds of special effects, and you can pretty much learn just by using programs like Vegas Pro, which is how I did a lot. But I did look up stuff on YouTube, because everything can be found on YouTube, believe me. Things that allow you to do zooms, to put filters on, change things like brightness and contrast, even put a little morph or distortion on, change the audio to have distortion or reverb or what have you. Those are just a few examples of the amazing things editing can do, and it takes time and practice, but once you've learned how the program works, you can do all kinds of things. Once you're done and you've added your end screen, which is kind of important seeing as YouTube's style now is to have a screen at the end, 20 seconds long, where you can link other videos and stuff. For this, I personally took inspiration from Bazamalam, and pretty much I had one of those sunburst backgrounds, so it's rotating. You can have some kind of background, some kind of music. It's really up to you as long as it's, you know, copyright free. And then you can have somewhere to lay over your, you know, links. Sometimes it takes a little precision and practice with knowing how to get the boxes right, but I've left mine kind of open, so it's easier for me to just put everything there. And now that you're all done, you have to render your video, because obviously you can't just upload a project file. You have to render it into an MP4. Again, render settings are another thing. If you can, you want to aim for the highest quality. Obviously, you know, if you've recorded with a 480p camera, you're not going to get 1080p when you render it at 1080p. You're going to get 480p. Render it, you know, HD, 1080p if possible, and 60 FPS for highest quality. Sometimes you won't really need, you can just go with 30 FPS if it's a video like this. But I believe this video is going to be uploaded in 60 FPS. That's something I've started doing fairly recently. Depending on your internet speed and the size of the file, upload time is incredibly variable. If it's a 2-minute video and you've got strong internet speed, it might take 1 minute. If it's a 40-minute video and you've got weak internet speed, it might take an hour. Uploading a video usually takes at least some time, so I'm going to give you something you can be doing while your video uploads. The thing about a video, right, is that you've got to want to make people click on it. And this depends on a number of things. The title and the thumbnail, the tags and the description. One of the greatest pro tips I've ever had is to make those 4 correlate. What you want to do is that you want to have the same words that are in the tag, in the description and the title if possible. And basically when people search these words, your video will come up. So make sure the words you put in are relevant to your video. If you're really not sure, you can type one word and see what the YouTube bar suggests, as those are the most searched terms. And that's a nice little hack for finding good tags. You can come up with a decent title, description and tags. You just got to really say what your video is about in the description, you know. Titles, it's self-explanatory. Thumbnails, you want it also to correlate, you want it to match. Honestly, I could do an entire video on thumbnails if you want, but basically you want to have at least one subject, one focal point. If it's a video like this, you know how I structure mine. I always have me, because I'm the one talking about it, and then the subject matter on this side, I have it in that kind of like glowy sphere, and then I have, like, you know, an image from the video or what have you. I also put the Map Matters logo blurred out in the background because, you know, that's what this series is, and I'm trying to structure it so it's got all the relevant things in there without looking cluttered or busy. And then pretty much something that I always do once I've edited my thumbnail, which you can do in Photoshop, but I, believe it or not, actually use Windows Word because it has a remove background feature and it has all the effects I need. So basically I screenshot that. Something I always like to do is to actually just put it into Paint. Now MS Paint is one of the greatest apps ever made. This is one of the reasons why. If you go to resize, you can change the number of pixels your image is in size. Like, you can change the actual resolution, and pretty much I always put it 1280 by 720 because that's the YouTube standard, and having an HD thumbnail will just look good. So once you've done that, you can save it then as a PNG, which is the best file format considering you're uploading it. If you want more tips, please, you know, go in the comments or visit the link in the description, which again I've mentioned even though I haven't explained it yet, which I'll come back to at the end of the video, I promise. After you've done all of this, you just want to publish a video. And then after that, you can go add an end screen and cards into your video, which are basically links to other videos, and you want to, you know, place them towards the end of the video. For example, look at this brand new gameplay. Why don't you go click it? It's good. It's not a waste of your watch time. My watch time. Watch it, please. I need the views. All jokes aside, you want to link things at a point where people are actually going to click them. So now that you've published your video, what do you want to do next? Your channel has 2 images that you need, a profile picture and a logo or a channel banner. Now creating a profile picture is easy. You pretty much test take yourself, and then later on you might get, you know, fan art of yourself or maybe some kind of like icon, maybe your Minecraft avatar if you do Minecraft videos. The channel banner, it took me weeks, months to get my channel banner right. If you've been around, you may have noticed that I changed a couple of times. The thing is, it requires very specific proportions, and if you want to fit in what you want to fit in, it's so difficult, but I'm afraid it just needs practice. You can go find tutorials on how to get the right size and resolution for it, because there's a certain size your image has to be, but then there's only this middle section that's going to be included, and then you've got to align everything right. And I'm not going to go into it because it takes so darn long. I think the best thing to do with a banner is kind of like thumbnails. Have a background of some kind, something nice looking, and then just have 1 or 2 subjects kind of in the front that's, you know, that are relevant to you. So if you're a gamer, put different games that you're like, you know, you've played, or like your avatar or something. Or if you're a vlogger, put like different screenshots from like maybe things you've done, places you've been to. I don't know. It's up to you how you do this exactly. I'm sure that if you're watching this and if you want to start a YouTube channel, you will already have that kind of artistic instinct of, you know, knowing just what you want to, you know, create and making it feel and look right. Okay, we're now to part 8 of the video, I believe. What did we learn? What did we actually learn from doing YouTube? Even if you're not interested, what is the point of all this? Like, why would anyone, you know, do this? It's it's an experience making videos for other people to see. You do learn a lot of technical stuff and production values almost. You learn how to make films pretty much. That's what this is. You know, even I've done a couple of short films. If you look at my Halloween video, the travel vlogs, I would consider those short films. In some respects they're a little bit different. The Halloween one was a bit of a mix, but you learn how to record stuff, you learn about equipment, you learn how to edit videos, you learn how to upload them. It's actually really cool and it's a load of fun. You also learn more about yourself as a person and more about kind of rhetoric and persuasion, because if you don't try and make a bit of a character of yourself, you're not really going to attract that many viewers. You want to, you want to talk up, you want to, be involved with the audience. I'm trying to now. I'm keeping eye contact with the camera. I'm trying, it's indescribable. It's instinct to me now, but for some people you just need to practice getting the tone and the register of your voice just right. It comes with practice. I bet if you compare me to like 2 or 3 years ago, my kind of like dialogue and commentary wasn't as good probably because I didn't spend that much time, speaking to a wider, I say a wider audience. It's like 100 of you, but for me that's still quite a few people. That's like an entire year group. Imagine standing up in like an assembly or something and speaking to your entire year group. It's funny because I actually did do that once, didn't I? But above all, you actually just learn a good work ethic, because the thing is, all of that was uploading one video. But keeping it consistent is something else. If you're really taking it seriously, yeah, you're going to be uploading every day at some point. But in the beginning, it's best to leave it, few and far between. Release a video, no schedule, maybe, after a month, maybe release one every 2 weeks, then every 1 week, then 2 a week, then 3 a week, Try and, build it up. Me, I've never been able to upload more than pretty much once a week, with a few exceptions, as you know. And that's mostly because I'm still a student. Thank you everyone for watching. That is the end of the show. There we go. I've explained everything. Bibliography, absolutely nothing. There is absolutely nothing to put on today's bibliography, because all of this I've learned from simple experience. From going and finding tutorials, from practicing myself, all of it I just did. I just found it myself. Although there is one person I am going to credit, because although they didn't, actually help make this video, I feel like they were responsible for some of the things I said. There's a YouTube channel called Moz, and the guy does tutorials on all kinds of things you can imagine, and this is what I've been mentioning in this video that I'd say at the end. If you need help with, how to make thumbnails, what are the best render options, what kind of, equipment can I get, for cheap, what kind of screen recording software can I get for cheap, any kind of stuff, even if it's down to like scripting or personality, this guy can help you. So if you're thinking of starting a channel yourself or doing anything like that, just at least go check him out. I'm going to leave a link in the description, and that's the end. So if you did enjoy, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of all the new content coming to Cosmo's universe, and share this with your friends. Get more people to join the community. I mean, I say that. It's like April now, isn't it? And you know what that means. I believe we're only 1 or 2 weeks away as this is being released from the 3-year anniversary of Cosmo's universe. Guys, this is the last Matt Matters video, so I really hope you've enjoyed this series as much as I've enjoyed making it. It's an absolute blast to kind of go through all the information type videos. I did have about 20 planned in the original, and although I scrapped a lot of ideas, I still had a handful. And pretty much, I could talk about anything. The point is to try and expand someone's knowledge, to try and help them grow as a person, and just kind of, show you different things about the world. I've talked about, like, technological advancements in science fiction that become to reality. I've talked about, how binary code works. I've talked about Bendy and the Ink Machine, so linking to my video game stuff. I've talked about different states of matter, like the plasma. I've talked about all kinds of things, and now the playlist is complete. But guys, I don't want to waste any more of your time. So, until the next time, from me, from Jumble and Goosey, who have, helped make this series something a little more unique, I feel. Bye-bye.